right now, what I want you to do, to prove to you that time is elusive, that it's an illusion, I want you to play patty cakes with the person next to you. Okay? Find the person next to you, and I want you to play patty cakes starting now. Go. Make it up if you don't know. Make it up. So some people taking their clothes off. It's so hot in here.
We play patty cakes with your imaginary son?
Yeah, we're having a blast, me and Billy. Now what I want you to do is stare at this pencil. Go.
I can't see it on my car.
Just stare, even if you can't see it. Stare at the pencil. Fine. Jim, how long did you play patty cakes for? How long did you play your concept of patty cakes?
2 minutes.
2 minutes and staring at the pencil? Okay. And Rashmi?
Like a minute for patty cakes and like 2 minutes for...
Okay. And the person who came late beside Anjal? Yes, you, in the gray sweater.
Probably 2 minutes for patty cakes and then like 30 seconds for
And Siddhant?
I think a minute and a half for patty cakes and like a minute for the pencil.
All right. Well, this experiment failed miserably. You all know that time is subjective. When you're having fun, time goes by so quickly. And when you're bored, apparently you all love staring at it. Yeah, Saturday night. We all know that time is subjective in that when we're bored, it goes so quickly. When you're having fun, it goes by so quickly. Ask any child that. You know, we become complicated, so experiments don't work with us anymore. With the child, it's very easy to demonstrate this. And in The Simpsons, when Bart's watching the clock till the school's over, and then this clock starts going backwards. Knowing that time is an objective illusion and a subjective illusion, does that mean that we should disregard it completely? Should we disregard it? Good. In a dream, if you're hungry in a dream, and someone in the real world, in a waking state world, comes and puts an orange beside you, can that satisfy your hunger? No. In a dream, in your dream hunger, only dream food can satisfy that dream hunger. In the same way, in this apparent illusion that time is, it is only by working with the illusion that we can transcend the illusion. And yesterday I mentioned that it's through relative liberation that we achieve absolute liberation. By relatively gaining more and more happiness in our lives, do we eventually reach that state where there is no more happiness, where that relativity has become absolute. We do have to work with time to be able to understand it, to master it, to overcome it. And that's the whole point of what we're doing in regards to time management, what we're discussing right now. It is extremely important to manage time because when we don't have time, you know what gets compromised first? Spirituality, exercise, calmness. When we don't have time, people get frustrated. They get angst. We treat each other poorly then. But when there's lots of time, everyone's chill, then everyone's chill then. And if we discover that we have more time, we can engage in sadhana more. I asked, why are there 80 people at this camp and there was 50 people in the summer? And a lot of the responses were, it's harder to take off more time to come for a week versus to come for 3 days. If we were able to master time better, then we would be able to practice sadhana better. We would be able to come to more camps then. because we have a better understanding of time. You know, we talk about this sadhana. In my life, it's always been pressed upon me the importance of time, and I always got in a habit since high school to manage my time effectively. When I was at the ashram, I was able to study more, serve more, do more than all of my other peers who were from India. Because in India, after lunch, which is at 1:30, the habit is to sleep for 2 hours. But I was able to manage my time well, and I would sleep for 15 minutes. And so I'd have an advantage of 75 minutes over my peers. And what did I do during that time? I exercised. I wrote letters. I wrote a commentary on Bhajagovindam. And so on and so forth. And a lot of my peers were, and we were all friends, it's not a competition, I'm better than you. They're like, how are you able to do all of this? And I just explained to them the principles of time management, something that I learned in business school, something I learned from my father. And they wanted to know about this too, they just weren't exposed to it. So even living in an ashram, time management helps you succeed at what you're doing, even if that's a spiritual pursuit. We have to understand, yes, this is Badri, this is a Chinmay Mission ashram. Yes, we are talking about time management. The same time management that any professional course will teach you, but more. Because there's a flavor of spirituality in it, which I'll touch on. Okay, good. Now to get our time in shape, we're going to employ the same analysis we did for stress management and synergy in relationships. Now I said that when we deal with people and resources, and on this note, can you turn the heat off now? It's super hot in here. Vijay, please. Just throw some water at that. So I said we have two factors available to us when it comes to time, when it comes to money, when it comes to people. What are those two factors available to us? Supply and demand. Who said that? Good, thank you, Vivian. We have supply, we have demand. When it comes to people, when it comes to money, when it comes to time. Now in regards to time, what is our supply? 24 hours in a day. How many hours in a week? 168. How many minutes in a week? Really nice number. Come on.
26,400.
No, not at all. 10,080 minutes a week. Really nice number, right? 108 is very auspicious. And even nicer is when you remove the 90 minutes for Chinmay Mission, which is fixed. You have 9,990 minutes. Another auspicious number. Okay, now I'm just rambling. Can you change your supply of time? Uday, can you change it? When you go to India, can you change it? When you go, I was going to say to Mars, but maybe you can change it there. Can you buy time? Can you sell time? Is time different if you're younger versus if you're older? That standard measurement of time. No. Time is time. It's fixed. It's just like land. Why countries fight for land is because you can't get more land. The land available is the land available. That's why we fight for it. Time is time. There's nothing else that can be done for it. So knowing this supply and demand, our supply is fixed. We have to disregard this factor of how much time we have. Because it's fixed. We can't do anything about it. There's no point in complaining. There's no point in crying. I'm going to have the same 168 hours whether I like it or I dislike it. This is fixed. What can we work with? If the supply is fixed, what can I work with? Demand. And that's the essence of time management, is focusing on that demand. Even when it comes to demand, it's two-pronged. I can either raise my efficiency to meet my demands, or I can raise my effectiveness to reduce my demands.